Academic Director at LSC, and today I want to briefly talk to you about everyday English. This is the material I've created specifically to be used on our summer courses in the UK. Now I can do this much better if I switch to full screen, so I'll get off camera now and switch microphones. I've been developing everyday English for short courses over the last 12 years, experimenting with different content and formats. Personally, I think that students on any serious language course should have a book which they can write in and take home, and one which contains material appropriate to their learning needs. In one British Council inspection, everyday English was described as outstanding, both in terms of content and presentation. Each student gets two 40-page books. The first is one of the 5 levels based on the placement test, and the second is the one-size-fits-all pronunciation and culture workbook. The 5 levels are linked to the conversation topics, lexis and grammar of the Trinity College exam syllabus in spoken English. This is because the Trinity exam is the one best suited to short courses in the UK. This table shows how the everyday English levels relate to the Trinity exam grades and how they both relate to the common European framework of reference for languages. Here are a few excerpts from the book to give you an idea of what they're like. They're black and white inside for the sake of economy. This first example is from the unit on parts of the body in Level 1, which covers Trinity Grades 1 and 2. I'm not going to go through all the topics covered in all the levels, but these are some of the topics covered in the units of Level 2. As you can see, they're the kind of standard topics you find in all published ELT coursebooks. Here's one of the grammar exercises from Level 2. This one's on the past tense of the verb to be. Here are some of the topics covered in the Level 3 book. That's Trinity Grades 5 and 6. Again, there's nothing particularly out of the ordinary here. Here's an exercise from the unit on rules and regulations in Level 3. And this exercise on relative clauses is from the grammar section in the Level 4 book. Most units also have a crossword which recycles the key vocabulary covered. The books tend to contain exercises such as quizzes and puzzles rather than lengthy reading texts with comprehension questions, because teenagers are less keen on that type of exercise. Okay, I think that's enough examples to give you a feel for the content of this part of the book. The topics sections are designed to last about an hour and are intended as a springboard for conversation around the topic. Now let's move on to the pronunciation and culture workbook. Why focus on pronunciation? Well, firstly, if you watch my earlier video on language learning, you'll know that 70% of all communication breakdown between learners is due to pronunciation problems. And secondly, phonology is part of the Trinity College exam in spoken English. Jennifer Jenkins, the author of The Phonology of English as an International Language, says, "Learning the sounds of English is a crucial part of achieving good pronunciation and intelligibility," and I agree. In the pronunciation section, the students have a gradual introduction to all the sounds of English and also word and sentence stress. This gradual introduction helps to demystify the phonemic symbols and helps students realise which areas of pronunciation they need to work on. On the back of the book, there's a colour-coded phonemic chart. Students add words to this as the different sounds are introduced, so they create their own pronunciation memory aid. The culture section provides a jumping off point for teachers to link their lessons to the excursions that their students go on. It's designed to be as flexible as possible so it can be used all over the UK. For example, the unit on Britain and the sea is relevant to many places due to the history of so many of our ports: Bristol, Plymouth, Greenwich, Liverpool and Portsmouth. The unit on leisure time is relevant to Bath, Brighton and any other seaside resort. There's a unit on London and units on cathedrals and art, since cathedrals and galleries are common excursion destinations. There are also units on general topics such as the English language, British food, British music and British icons. Within the culture section, there are also blank sections where students can write a journal to record their experiences on the course, or they can use it simply to record items of vocabulary. Encouraging students to write things down is a simple yet important feature of our courses because it aids memory, which is crucial to any language learning. If your students use the books as they're intended, they will serve as a very useful reminder of their time in the UK on an LSC course. That's all for today. Thanks for listening.